I think the thing that a lot of people underestimate, especially like if they've never done jiu-jitsu before, is like it's not just physically difficult. Like you don't realize that your body kind of like flips a switch when you're not like mentally conditioned for that kind of like any sort of combat sport. You're not like mentally conditioned to like your body goes into fight or flight.
Yeah.
It thinks you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Like someone's trying to kill you. That's what your body thinks.
Yeah.
Like you see a brand new
It doesn't
white
know any
belt,
better.
It doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Because you haven't been put in that situation before. Typically, most people haven't, right? So when they get in that situation, it's like that is what is actually exhausting. When you're like a white belt, like first couple stripes, it's really hard to turn that off,
dude. And it's like now, like I'm not like physically exhausted when I train. I'm more mentally drained, just trying to figure out. Especially when I train with people like you, people like Ramsey. Well, Ramsey just beats the shit out of me, but people that like that I can hang with. It's like a mental.
Wait, so you can hang with me, but not Ramsey? God.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how to say it nicely, but the reality is like it's like a puzzle that's just trying to kill you, and you're trying to solve it the entire. It's mentally exhausting. Yeah.
Ramsey and I were talking about. We talked about a lot of shit because we were in the car for fucking 12 hours this weekend. But like it was like one of the big things is like when you're like rolling as like white, blue belt, like it's physically exhausting, right? Because you first, one, you might not have the conditioning. Two, your technique is not sharp, right? But like I felt like, and I'm sure I'm just repeating something we've already said before because we always repeat ourselves because we're old.
It's okay,
and you're old as fuck.
It's okay.
Blue, purple, brown, like the farther we get, the easier rounds get cardio wise.
Yeah, because
you become more efficient.
Yep.
Right. So it's like almost like. You almost don't get the same. Almost don't get a workout at like brown or black belt level because it's kind of like it's so chess at that point, right? You're not even like really like creating a bunch of like crazy scrambles. Like a lot of like blue belt matches are like that. It's just like you get into a spot and you're like kind of like inching your way through a position, right? Waiting for your opponent to like get impatient, make a mistake or that kind of stuff. It's like not really cardio at that point anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Because you've both become like when you're rolling like two black belts rolling together. Most of the time, it's really just like it's a game, and it's not like we're not just like going balls to the wall as far as like cardio goes,
unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Like if there's a burst that's needed, you can give but it's a short burst.
Oh, when there's a scramble, it's a fucking scramble, and that's a scramble with two guys who know where they're going, right? And it's just like two guys trying to like force the match into the position that that they become advantageous in.
Yep. That's
where the cardio is. But like like say I get to headquarters and I'm like waiting to pass, so I'm like I got the hand on the knee, I have like the collar, and I'm like waiting to kind of like shift his hips over so I can start like maybe windshield wiper my leg or whatever it is, right? But it's like not a lot of like cardio and fast movement there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like a lot of like conservation of energy, all that kind of stuff that you get as you get better at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Well, like when you sweep me, it's not like it was a big explosive movement that got me on my back. It's a subtle move that, I screw up and you were waiting for me to screw up.
Yeah.
I got baited into it basically. You know what I mean?
Like I'll be in guard or whatever and I'll be like waiting and then you're in headquarters or whatever waiting.
Yep.
And then you're like, all right, I'm going to try to go.
Yep.
And then you go and then I'm like, oh shit. All right, fuck yeah, this is my moment. And then I John Wayne sweep you or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of like if I could describe the difference between a training match with a black belt versus a competition match with a black belt, the difference really, obviously some people have better technique, some people are just physically better.
Yeah.
But like when everything's equal, it's the person that scores first that has most. Obviously, they have the advantage, but you really can't put that into. I really can't find the words for it because you have to start thinking about what you're going to do and what they would do based on what you're going to do. Right? So
it is like literally thinking steps ahead.
You got to think steps ahead. And I'm like, if they're up like say 3-0 instead of 2.
Right.
Okay. So they literally don't have to do anything.
Right.
And they're probably not. So you can't let them lock you down. You can't end up in a bad position. So you have to exert that energy that you don't normally exert in training because you kind of settle.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when there's like just like a minute or so left. It's like they can eat the penalties too.
And it's taxing. It's taxing when you're trying to break grips and they're holding you down. You got to twist your body, you know, and that's what happened to me. I mean, you know, I knew he was going to try to hold me down. And I was thinking, okay, so if he's in this position, if I were him, I would do this. So now I have to think like, okay, if he does this, I have to do that, which means I got to get belly down. I got to get to his legs, you know, all that shit. Yeah. And there's no alternative. There is no writing it out. Right. You don't get another round. You're gone. You're done for the day. Mm-hmm. And that's what's really taxing about, in my opinion, about tournament play. Yeah. Yeah. It's a 5-minute timer, which is horseshit anyway, but it's a 5-minute timer. And if you have a guard that takes 3+ minutes to set up and it fails, you're fucked.